Grand Theft Auto 6 has a huge problem, and this could be very bad news for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Hey, how's it going, guys? Dalton here with another video on the YouTube channel, and in today's GTA 6 video, we're going to be diving into some bad news and how Grand Theft Auto 6 could have a big problem due to the PlayStation 5 Pro not having 60 frames per second, which would definitely change the graphics and make GTA 6 look not as incredibly as we all think it will. This is all coming from a trustable article. I use this article a lot called IGN. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about it. It's a lot of gaming news and everything that you need to know about games. We're going to be diving into all that. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys are interested in that article down below, but this is what the article stated. It goes on to say, don't expect PlayStation 5 Pro to run GTA 6 at 60 FPS, tech experts say. They went on to say this: the leaked PlayStation 5 Pro specs have been verified and added by the tech experts at Digital Foundry, who also delivered their prediction on how the announced console will run GTA 6. This week, the PlayStation 5 Pro specs leak, also verified by IGN, revealed the power of the console Sony repeatedly plans to release during the fourth quarter of 2024. The PlayStation 5 Pro CPU is said to be identical to the standard PlayStation 5 CPU, but with a high CPU frequency mode, which amount is to 10% increase to 3.85 Hz, and then the GPU enables faster rendering, the higher quality of ray tracing powered by 33.5 teraflops. The standard of the PlayStation 5 offers 10.28 teraflops. However, a direct PS5 to PS5 Pro comparison would work out at the around 10.28 versus 1617 teraflops. Basically, what IGN had to talk about there is 60 frames per second is not going to be coming to the PS5 Pro console, and we'll be diving into more as we get in that article. So what I understood from that is the teraflops and then the FPS, it looks like the hertz are totally different compared. So PlayStation 5 runs about 3.82 hertz, which is about the same thing as what this PS5 Pro is going to run. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't know really anything about hertz or CPU or GPU. I'm sure there's a lot more smarter experts that know a little bit more about computers and how graphical will run the game, but I just want to dive into what and break it down just a little bit, but don't expect me to know everything about computers because I do not. I do not know, some of the new systems that are in the PlayStation 5 or how it runs or how the graphics are going to look smoother. All I know is that the PlayStation 5 Pro and GTA 6 are in big trouble because GTA 6 is not going to have that big graphical look, kind of like with the 60 FPS. So most likely the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to have something to do with maybe like 40 to 50 FPS if we're lucky, but we'll be diving into that as we get more in this article. I just kind of wanted to break that down, and I don't know if anyone knows what teraflops mean. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. Moving on, the release of the PlayStation 5 Pro is thought to be particularly in the context of 2025 release of GTA 6, which would set the boost of the video game market beyond developer of Rockstar Games' parent company Take-Two. But according to the Digital Foundry, the founder Rich Ledbetter, speaking in the latest episode of the DF Direct of the PlayStation 5 Pro CPU, means GTA 6 will probably run at 30 FPS, assuming GTA 6 runs at 30 FPS on the standard PlayStation 5. Given no GTA game has launched with 60 frames per second option, this would seem nailed on. According to Ledbetter of the GTA 6 runs 30 FPS on PS5, it will run at 30 FPS on PS5 Pro, bearing some kind of programming miracle because the CPU handles the simulation in the PlayStation 5 Pro. CPU only increased performance by 10%. It is likely the event of GTA 6 has 60 FPS mode on PS5. It would run at 60 FPS, but the PlayStation 5 Pro of the PlayStation 5 Pro CPU looks like a mod set improvement of the PlayStation 5 Pro is much better than the PlayStation 5, rendering, according to the Digital Foundry, a PlayStation 5 Pro. The Digital Foundry predicts the capable of the upscaling 1080p older than the PS5 game of 4K via its upscaling and analyst solution of the PSSR, PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution upscaling. If the developer chooses to support the tech with a patch. The Digital Foundry says PlayStation 5 Pro will retain some of the 60 GB or the GDDR6 memory as the standard PlayStation 5, but has an extra 1.2 GB of the system RAM for developers. It kind of gets me very upset that Grand Theft Auto 6 is not going to have 60 frames per second, as we know with the PlayStation 5 not having it. Obviously, the game is probably still going to run clear as day, and GTA 6 will probably run 60 FPS, but the PlayStation 5 Pro is not going to run that, which is going to make the game just look a little bit, probably not as great as we all think it is, but in the trailer, the game looks stunning, so it makes me wonder on how exactly this is going to affect Grand Theft Auto 6, if it's going to affect some of the graphics, if it's going to affect some of the other things that we do in the game. Who really knows? But I thought I would point that out, that an IGN expert and also one of the leaders also talked about that it's not coming to PlayStation 5 Pro, which is very unfortunate because I was rather looking forward to seeing 60 FPS in GTA 6, kind of seeing what the graphics were going to look like. As they said, we're still going to run 60 GB RAM, which is quite nice if it ever comes out on PC, which is in total with the PlayStation 5 Pro, it looks like it's also going to run 60 GB RAM, and then memory is going to be pretty good too. So that's good news that at least we go a little bit of things, but the bad news is really, you know, GTA 6 and the PlayStation 5 Pro are really not going to run that great without these 60 frames per second. Most likely, like I said, they talked about us getting 30 frames per second. And as you guys know, 30 really isn't that great, but who really knows? It's not a final decision. They're still working on it, but it kind of makes me upset to kind of think that we're not going to get 60 frames for a most likely going to be the biggest popular game of all time. I also went on to state last month, analysts signaled that Sony is likely to release the PlayStation 5 Pro later in 2024. Sony has formed that as it comes to releasing the Pro version into its consoles of the PlayStation 5 Pro, for example, launched in November 2016, 3 years after the PlayStation 4 came out. The PlayStation 5 Pro launched this November, or the PlayStation 5 Pro will launch this November, would come for 4 years around the PlayStation 5 launch in November of 2020. Sony has revised the PlayStation 5 sales forecast in current financial year down for the lofty target of 25 million consoles sold, 21 million. This comes to despite a year-on-year increase of the PlayStation 5 sales in the holiday of 2023 quarter from $7.1 million sold in 8.2 million elsewhere. Sony has said that it would also release any major existing PlayStation franchise gamers before April 2025, ruling out the big sequel in the God of War Spider-Man franchise anytime soon. Last month, Sony announced a devastating wave of layoffs affecting over 900 staffs of the gaming business, and Sony's London studio isn't to close. That is awesome news that Sony was able to sell almost 2 to 8 million consoles, which is obviously crazy. I can't believe they're making that much money. And honestly, I would realize how much they're making because, you know, the PlayStation 5 consoles are really good consoles. I was excited when that first came out. But anyway, guys, that is all the information I got for you guys on this video today. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily awesome videos such as GTA 6, Rockstar Games videos, and all the upcoming Red Dead Redemption 2 videos that I'll be doing on my channel. Subscribe for more of those, and of course, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you guys think about this terrible news that PlayStation 5 and GTA 6 are not going to be 60 frames per second? You guys can let me know what you're thinking down there. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. Like I said, guys, stay happy, healthy, and well, and I'll see you guys all later on the next video.